everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm Gaming here, and today I'm playing some more Bloons Adventure Time Tower Defense. And today, well, as you can see, it's the Joshua and Margaret Investigations event again. They really do this event a lot, don't they? It's like, okay, in between a holiday, let's have a Joshua and Margaret investigation. It'll be fun. I mean, it's still pretty great. We get a legendary wish orb. I'm not going to complain, the rewards are awesome. So, I've done a lot of videos. Each time it comes around, I talk about my tips and tricks for it, and I probably will do a bit of that. But recently, and just in general, a very common question I get asked is, help, I'm trying to beat Impossible, how do I beat DDTs? How do I deal with DDTs? How do you win against DDTs? What towers can pop DDTs? What restrictions do DDTs have? How do you deal with the black missile balloons? Yes, I've received that response multiple times. But yeah, basically, I'm also going to be doing a DDT guide, how to deal with DDTs, because that sounds cool. But yeah, so we are going to be playing the event on Impossible, because I do need to make progress in the event. I will be going over it briefly. If you want to get into more detail, check out some of my other videos in Bloons Adventure Time Tower Defense playlist. I'll probably put a link in the description to, I believe, I'll put a link to the last Joshua and Margaret event. I go into all sorts of tips and tricks for that one, so if you're interested, check out that video. It'll be in the description, or you can search for it, I guess. Or just search through my playlist, you'll find it there as well. But basically, I'm going to be going over all the ways to deal with DTs, effective strategies, all that stuff for various, I guess, equipments you may or may not have, various conditions, I suppose. So first off, I'm going to start with the basics. It's a pretty common one. If I ever get asked it, I always respond with these three towers. Flame Princess, Commander Cassie, and Max. They are the only three towers that without a camo detection or lead popping power trinket can pop DTs with somewhat significant damage. Technically speaking, Sai can use one attack normally, his flash bomb, if you have at least level 3. Where is his flash bomb? If you have at least level 3, he can do 1 damage to the DTs. Yeah, no, pointless. It doesn't stun it as well, don't bother. That doesn't work unless you have lead popping power. Sam also, with the Flame Princess trick, with the Flame Princess path rather, and Fireball and stuff, can pop DTs, but simply does insignificant Moab damage, because, well, Sam isn't meant for Moab damage, so don't rely on Sam. Your options are Commander Cassie, Max, and Flame Princess. If you don't have Commander Cassie, well, honestly, if you don't have Commander Cassie, that means you can't beat those maps on Extreme, and those maps are pretty easy on Extreme, so if you don't have Commander Cassie, you're not ready for Impossible, which means you're not ready for DTs, so I'll give that warning straight up. If you don't have Commander Cassie, don't try Impossible. You will fail. Unless Commander Cassie's just like, you just haven't bothered. But yeah, get Commander Cassie first. All three of these towers are significantly good against DTs. Commander Cassie arguably being the best without trinkets. Like, obviously I'm putting builds here, but with very minimal trinkets, Commander Cassie's the best for one reason. So if you didn't know, normally Commander Cassie can get cam protection with the Enhanced Tactical Radar upgrade. And then if you go on the right path, as opposed to triple darts, which is far better for damage, if you have lead popping power trinket, if you have the Robo Monkey Visor, use this path still, it will do more damage. As a tip, Commander Cassie with that trinket is also a really good DT popping power, but even without the Balloon-tonium tips, Cassie's attacks do more damage and can pop any balloon type. It's really powerful. Any balloon type means it can pop DTs. If you know, I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning, DTs are lead, black, and camo, so those are the important qualities. Commander Cassie's got cam protection, and Commander Cassie can pop any balloon type, doing significantly increased damage. It's pretty ridiculous. I believe that only applies to the darts. No, Cassie's attacks. Yeah, so this straight up, I believe, gives all of her attacks, including the missiles, black popping power, which means if you do have this path, and then you have C4 Charlie, you can go for the mounted Mauler upgrade to replace the missiles with Moab Maulers, and then she will do insane damage to the DTs, let alone if you have Missile Barrage, it'll be even stronger. If you have this path, you can definitely go for C4 Charlie if you're worried more about DTs, or even the Bad Balloon. This does significant damage to the Bad Balloon, the Mounted Mauler's attack, and C4 Charlie's Moab Mauler, because Moab Mauler does plus 60 damage to Moab class balloons. It's insane. For straight up Bad Balloon, I'll probably do a different video later if you like this idea, but it's really good Bad Balloon damage as well. But yeah, Commander Cassie is probably, I'm going to suggest, if you have her, which you should have her, is probably the best DT damage, especially if you don't have a ton of trinkets. If you have like Demon Heart, Baker Shard, all of those high attack speed and damage buffing trinkets, not as great, but a really good option. And once you get the lead popping power, you can just switch over to the left path and do a lot of additional damage with the triple dart. So really, really good tower, significantly good. I'm debating now whether or not I should just take out all these trinkets to show you, but I'm going to keep this on because obviously you will have some weapons and things. But Commander Cassie is definitely a good fit, at which point I'm going to go over this quickly. I'm going to go over Max and Flame Princess, but then I'll get to trinkets and weapons and that stuff. So Flame Princess, same deal. Fire can pop lead balloons. Camo detection with a level 3 upgrade. Flame Princess must be level 3 in order to pop DDTs. That's a fact. You need to have that. If you don't, once again, you're probably not ready for Unpoppable. But yeah, Flame Princess is a pretty good tower. The more upgrades you have, the better. If you have a level 5 for Heat Ray, great. For level 7, Elemental Transform is a massive increase in damage. But really, if you have Fire Burst and maybe Flamethrower, you're pretty much good. If you have the Fire Crown, go for Royal Fury. The increase in attack speed is pretty helpful. But realistically, she's a pretty decent popping power. Flame Princess does have the advantage over Commander Cassie, that she's better against multiple DDTs because of the piercing aspects of her attack. But her more damage without trinkets is fairly low. So assuming you're pretty low and mediocre and stuff, in like terms of trinkets and that stuff, don't worry about attack speed as much with Fire Princess. If you don't have a lot of trinkets that are good for that stuff, focus on the damage. Early game damage being powering of damage. If you don't even have that, I don't have it equipped here. Oh, hold on, give me a second. You can go for the powering of poison, which I have on someone over here. Powering of poison, where are you? Powering of poison, powering of poison, powering of poison. Seriously, where's the powering of poison? I missed it, didn't I? I'm very confused. Here we go. Powering of poison. Bloons hit by attacks take an additional 1 poison damage per second for 3 seconds. It's free damage. It does count. It is helpful with Flame Princess. So you really do want to focus damage with her. If you have stuff like Demon Heart or Heart Gauntlets, obviously use them. Same thing with Baker Shard. But realistically, at the end of the day, you want to focus damage if you can't have both. So Damage Ring, Ring of Powering of Poison. What other damage trinkets you have? If you're using PB as well in your build, you can use the Royal Medal for Heroic Bravery if you have it, plus 1 damage in range of PB. Pretty useful. These are all just basic damage equivalents. If you don't have any of those, do I not have the common right now? I'm going to go to collection for a second, because there's also the basic trinket options. I'm going cheap. If you have like no good trinkets, you can still use these. Paper Plate Mask, plus 1 damage to mobs. Works against DDTs, go figure, because DDTs are a mob class balloon. That doesn't work for you? How about James's Lucky Coin? 5% chance to double damage, increases damage by 5%. It's not as good, but it's still an option. If you have trinket slots, but not necessarily good trinkets, it can work. Though, I mean, I'm saying all this, hopefully you have some decent trinkets if you're trying to beat Unpoppable, but if you're trying to rush in, it's not a bad option. And then I believe the other option is you're the zombie one. We have, this is a far better option because it also works on ceramics. You have Tree Trunk Stagger, plus 1 damage to ceramics and mob class balloons. With that, with just common and uncommon trinkets, you can have basically 3 damage, plus 3 damage to DTs if you include the Poison Ring. It's pretty significant. There's a lot of cheap damage trinket detection options. It works really well. Just to clarify, by the way, Horsey Soap, I'm going to go into this topic later. Horsey Soap does not work on camo balloons. That's important to point out. It does not, it decamos camo balloons. It does not work on DDTs. That's important to note. But yeah, Flame Princess, great option. Focus on damage because he doesn't have natural damage buffs, unlike Commander Cassie and Max, as you will find. So Max has camo protection, enhanced range, pretty easy. Pop Tip Start is the next upgrade, lets him pop lead balloons. You need both to pop DTs. You don't have to worry about black for him. In terms of damage, he does get a damage buff because of weak spots, but I believe it is only a plus 2 damage, if I remember correctly. I think it's a plus 2 damage weak spots. It's okay, but it's not great. If DTs are your main issue, I definitely recommend getting the Bullseye ability from Max and saving it for the exact moment DTs spawn. Maybe place them farther back in the track so DTs can move ahead. While your main defense, your defense at the front, might be focusing on ZMGs or BFBs, the DTs will go backwards. Go further into the track, and Max will be able to pop them without having other balloons in his way. Since he has fairly low pierce and no homing capabilities, you want to make sure DTs are the only things in his sightline. So he has good projectiles. If you have more darts, you can get that for free. If you have him level 3, obviously, even more darts, even better. But yeah, focus on Bullseye plus weak spots. It can do significant damage to DTs, so he will be one like Commander Cassie where you want to focus more on attack speed rather than damage. Okay, so those are your 3 normal, free, whatever, camo detection, lead popping power, DDT, killing machines. Those are your 3 normal ones. Once you get a couple trinkets, if you have your lead popping power trinket, Psy, especially if you have Psy level 7, but just in general, Psy. With a lead popping power trinket, Psy, even at only like level 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever level you have him, he's probably going to be good. If you have level 5, even better for his sabotage supply lines. DTs are super fast, so cutting your speed in half is extra significant because it makes towers not whiff. A lot of towers will miss. That's one of the other benefits of Psy with his seeking, or not he, Psy with her seeking shurikens will almost always hit the DTs. If you have level 7 for Bloon Jitsu, even better, but even just multi-throw, good. And also because Bloonatomy has extra damage to orbs, you can focus more on attack speed once again. It's a really good combo. So Psy is really good once you have lead popping power. Technically, there are many other towers you can use at that point, such as Finn and Jake. No, Finn and Jake require camo protection as well. But the other towers you can use with the lead popping power is actually, I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't think there's anyone else you actually get for just lead popping power. But once you get camo detection, Super Monkey. If you have a camo detection trinket, there's a lot of them. I'm gonna be honest with you, there are a lot. There are 4 variants in total. The easiest one to get, technically speaking, I'm gonna go back into collection. I really should just stay here. The easiest camo detection trinket to get is the super rare X-ray goggles. Night vision X-ray goggles. They work. If you have them, put them on Super Monkey, give him plasma vision, he'll pop lead balloons, he'll do insane damage. He's just really strong. It's Super Monkey. If you got the money, he's gonna be good. But if you want him to be able to deal with DTs, you need the night vision X-ray goggles. It's important. You can also technically use either the Lacedae Noticon or or the Dragon's Eyes. Dragon Eyes increase damage to DTs, so they're significant. If your main focus is DTs, Dragon Eyes. But if you want more support for other things, then Lacedae Noticon for the increased range can be better. Obviously, these are epic, so they're a bit harder to get than the super rare, but if you have them, that's great. There is also the motion games. I believe it's this one. Nope, that's Glob's helmet. Is it this? The motion tracking device. Motion tracking device. Equipped character can detect camo balloons. It's literally the exact same, except you'll notice +8 range. Lacedae Noticon, oh, +9. It's literally the same. Wait, is that Pierce? Actually, was that Pierce? No, literally +8 range. It's Lacedae Noticon with 1 less range. If you want to buy it, you can. I don't necessarily recommend spending your motion crystals on it, but it is an option. Okay, so those are the given camo protection trinkets, at which point you can give them to Super Monkey, you can give them to Juggernaut Max, so he's not the best for that. You can give them to lots of characters with camo and lead. You can give them to everyone except C4 Charlie and Captain Cassie, because they use explosives. Everyone else can pop them with if you have both of them, but realistically, you probably don't if you're needing a guide for DTs. Next thing I'm going to talk about, back into collection. There is only one trinket that will decamo balloons. It's important to note. I'm going to go over decamo methods. Basically, that's what I'm saying. So you can obviously give camo protection. I already mentioned earlier, Horsey Soap. Doesn't work on DTs. It's don't use Horsey Soap. It will not help you. The other thing that does work, though, is why am I scrolling so far up? It's not in the epic section. It's in the super rare section. Anti-camo dust. It's an ability, 20 seconds, removes all camo protection. This can entirely remove DT camo. Assuming you're not beating the stages super duper quickly, as long as you don't, like, demolish rounds, this can decamo all DTs, which means if you're good enough with it, if you have it, especially if you have it with some with ability cooldowns, or even Cobra, if you're lucky enough to have Cobra, then you can basically use this and say, you know what, I have no camo protection trinkets, I'm just going to use Super Monkey anyways, and then just use the anti-camo dust. It's very effective. It does work on DTs. That's important to note. Don't get misleaded, it does. It's weird, but it does. Even weirder, since that one does work, we have C4 Charlie with his ability. His ability, which I believe is available from level 1. I can't see the ability, blah, 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 blah. This one. Signal Flair. Is it available from level 1? Yes, it is. Strips all modifiers from all balloons on the field. Yeah, so I've had some arguments about this. I may be wrong, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost positive from personal experience and testing, pretty sure the wiki says otherwise, but from personal testing, this does not decamo DDTs. It's confusing, it's weird, doesn't work on DTs, also doesn't work on fortified Moab class balloons, so just something to keep in mind. It doesn't work on Moab class balloons, it works on balloons. That's just how it works. It's a little weird, but that simply is how it is. Talking on the ally front for a second, not here, but actually yes, here. Dr. Mikey, his base thing is he removes special properties from balloons. Another thing, kind of like the horsey soap, he throws something on the track, balloons walk over it, camo balloon removed. Doesn't work on DTs, it sucks, it just doesn't. But an option that does work, obviously you might not have it, but I'm going to bring it up anyways, because most of your options are super rares and epics anyways. One option, technically speaking, although very unreliable, is Betty GROF, because she has a small chance to use the Soul Seal ability, which does decamo and D-lead and D-black. I think it literally removes all properties from DTs, so that's pretty cool, but it's a little unreliable. If you want something more reliable, you can go for Hudson Abadir. He does also steal souls, which means he also decamos. He's an option. If you have him, you probably don't, but if you do, he is an option. Speaking which, similarly, if my back arrow will work, similarly an option is, well, not 40 sword, because that requires him to see them, but Knight Sword. Once again, another very unreliable option, but every 10th hit, he'll steal the soul of one balloon. Don't rely on it, but it is an option. Just figured I'd mention it. It does work on DTs. It's just very, very, very unreliable, but it is technically an option. But yeah, there you go. Those are your decamoing methods, your towers that can pop DTs, all of those magical things, talking about how to deal with DDTs. It's pretty cool. Another thing to point out is Phoenix. Phoenix's cam protection is lead popping power. Phoenix Wand basically souls DTs on any map. If you have Phoenix Wand, you're ready for Unpoppable. That's basically the moral of the story. Phoenix Wand's OP. I don't need to talk about it. I think I've already made multiple videos on how OP Phoenix Wand is. If you have it, it can solo DTs. You don't need to worry about anything. But yeah, there you go. Those are my tips for DTs. Do you want to see a tips video for bad balloons? Let me know. But yeah, tips for DTs. Those are basically your good options. You can rely on stalls. If you have, they do have cam protection, you can use Gumball. He does work on DTs, but it's a little iffy. Obviously, Hudson Abadir slow does. All slows do work. They're not immune to slows. Slows, in fact, are really important. Ice King technically is an option if you have him at level 7. His freeze will freeze them, but it freezes them for about 1 millisecond, and it's pretty much useless. Yeah, but yeah, anyways, that's sort of my guide to DTs. I didn't really mention any premium characters here, but obviously Tuxedo Jake can give all balloons any popping, or all towers any balloon popping power straight up. And Hunter Marceline also straight up has the Soul Steal ability as your first upgrade. So if you have premium characters, why are you watching a guide? That's my honest answer. I have them now too, but I didn't have them for a while, and I'm glad I didn't, because if you have premium characters, you can basically go straight to Unpoppable with absolutely no problems. Yeah, maybe one day I'll try again the No Trinkets Challenge with premiums and see just how much of a joke it is. That might be fun to see. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed. Consider giving the video a like and commenting to say, yeah, this was a cool video, I like the idea. Let me know if you wanted me to do similar type videos, maybe one for bad balloons, or, I don't know, camo balloons, zombie balloons, just general tip videos on certain types of balloons. Obviously, this was how to deal with DTs. Hopefully you learned something. Obviously, I didn't do any actual physical tests. You're gonna have to believe me, I guess, on proof. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I may or may not have put up some images. I don't know. Probably not. But you know what? Yeah, have a wonderful day. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye!